I'm gonna start with a very small and light sound. Hello, hello, hello. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can hear that even though the sound is quite light and quite small, it doesn't necessarily sound particularly feminine. And that's because my pronunciation is a little bit more masculine in general, and it kind of gives the impression overall that the voice is a little bit like, childish, or like that of a young boy, or something like that. Well, I'm gonna start to change the sound, and get a slightly different pronunciation. Forgive all of the spit in my mouth. Woof. So, I'm going to begin with the word hello. I'm going to intentionally pronounce this like Hullo. Hello. 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 And I'm going to change the pronunciation. And I'm going to replace that with an eh. And the o with an eh as well. So it will sound like this. Hello, 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 hello. That initial sound had like a pretty ambiguous like gender presentation. I could maybe have imagined it as like a kind of tomboyish like female speaker, or like I said, like kind of childish, like a young, like a teenage boy, or like I tend to think of it as like kind of like Ash Ketchum, right? Like, hello, hello, oh, good job, Pikachu, you really did it. Right, we can finally retire after 20 years. So we can kind of hear that if I keep that pronunciation in mind, it really changes my overall gender presentation. Hello, 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 hello. And here I think we can hear that this starts to really solidly sound much more feminine.
The same thing could happen down here if I start with like a very heavy and large sound, and so therefore my body implying features are starting to sound really intentionally masculine. And my pronunciation is similarly really mask. This sounds pretty typical, and it ends up sounding kind of like just some dude, right? But as I start to change the pronunciation, you're gonna hear that as I change the like sort of these personality features, it's gonna start to sound a little bit more effeminate, and tends to be kind of. I would say that most like Americans are gonna hear this as kind of a gay voice. So I'm gonna go like hello, hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and instead gonna start to change the pronunciation. Hello, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hi. Yeah, so like now you can hear that even though my size is still large and my weight is still very heavy, this starts to sound more feminine. And I think a really great way to start exploring this, or I guess effeminate, not feminine, right? The way to start exploring this would be to say, okay, can I do this kind of like gay sounding voice, and then start to manipulate the size and the weight, and start to aim to get like a more like a lighter, smaller sound. I think your size and weight are sounding great in this clip, and now you just need to start really leaning into some of these pronunciation changes. I've got a lot more clips about this general topic that go into this a little bit more in depth, but this is maybe a little bit of an overview, and I'll link some of the other ones. And I actually think Dysphosium's full like sort of archive of all my posts also includes some, so I'll link to that as well. All right.